Be crowned the back-to-school champion parent with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
CVM News at 7 headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Dr. Andrew Holness sworn in as Jamaica's 9th Prime Minister. Infant and man killed in drive-by shooting. Response to claims of interference on South Coast Highway Improvement Project. In the business report, launches into orbit with the DBJ. And in sports, silver and bronze for Jamaica on day 4 of 2025 World Athletics Championship.
CVM News at 7 headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
When the bus the man, I want to watch my son play finals on CVM, you know.
But mums, you can't watch it on CVM website, man.
Boy, my son score, my son score, my son score, my son score.
Greatness begins here.
CVM News at 7 Tuesday, brought to you by KFC.
Quench your craving with the value menu from KFC, with combos starting at just $620. KFC.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Tuesday, September 16, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks so much for joining us. A 2-year-old boy is among 2 people shot and killed in Grandmead Road, Kingston 20 Monday night. Residents have been left horrified amid reports the toddler may have been directly targeted in the drive-by shooting, which left a 25-year-old man and another in hospital with gunshot wounds. CVM's Carla Ramdeen visited the scene.
The 6 months of peace that residents in Grandmead Maverley have enjoyed have been interrupted by gang violence, leaving 2-year-old Tajon Jackson dead.
Police say the shooting happened before 7 Monday evening. According to reports, a motor vehicle drove up and opened fire, killing 2-year-old Tajon Jackson and 25-year-old Kimarley Powell.
This, we believe, is stemming from years of gang situation between top and bottom Maverley that keep resurging in spite of the work that we have put in place. It has gotten better. The frequency and the magnitude of events over the years, it has gotten better, but we do believe that this is one too many. This is one more incident too many. This is one more child too many, one more family crying too many. And so we have put out our call out just about everything we have in a bid to find the perpetrators of this crime, and also to work with the community to heal and to restore calm and to restore peace here.
A resident close to Powell alleges that the child was intentionally targeted.
Go by the pumpers, and he go 2 minutes, Kimari come out of the yard. He put on pumpers by Kimari, and then he away from it. And I said, I go buy a food to share for me and family already eat. So the food, but I eat out some and give me. And the baby what he did with him is not feeling baby. And then kill a girl baby, thinking it's a feeling baby, and murder him. the 2-year-old baby here in Shetland.
Another resident who claimed to have witnessed the incident describes the horrifying moment.
This particular road here have a bad record with about some 15, 20 years. Them things that we see have happened now, it a replay back. And everybody want to capture somebody place, and everybody want to be done. But what is not my business, I leave it alone. That's right. So when I realize now, when I hear somebody say, the baby dead, and I look and see the baby dead for true, so I say, where him is? Them say, I'm run in this yard. When I come there, so I find him.
Senior Superintendent Damian Manderson says investigators have identified a man who may be able to assist them with the investigation.
Whilst I'm at it, let me use the opportunity to make a special call out to Courtney Ashley. He goes by the name Bloodstain, Stain, Evil, Alien, Biggs, and all the other names that his cronies give him out there in the criminal underworld. We're appealing to him, and in fact, I'm being very instructive to him that wherever he is, to turn himself into the nearest police station so that the length of the law can have its course. He might not trust the police to bring him in, so we ask him to find a justice of the peace.
A 48-hour curfew is now in effect in the area. Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
The Queen's School is cloaked in mourning following the brutal killing of 18-year-old sixth form student Jada Pollard. Her life was cut short during a pre-dawn break-in at her family's home in Smoky Vale, St. Andrew. In this report and the update, Akeem Aret shares one suspect remains in custody and the grief within her school family runs deep.
The gates of the Queen's School stood open Tuesday morning, but the atmosphere behind them was anything but ordinary. Where laughter and chatter once filled the air, silence and grief now linger. 18-year-old Jada Pollard was described as ambitious, full of promise, and ready to take on the world. But her dreams were cut short in the early hours of Monday morning when an intruder stormed her home. The grief, however, stretches far beyond the school grounds. Jada's father, who lives overseas, poured his take over TikTok, struggling with the reality that his daughter, who had dreams of studying abroad, will never realize them.
She was down there with her mother, planning on coming up to school here. She wanted to go to Howard. Please keep me and my family in your prayers.
Among those mourning is Emmy Award-winning actress Shirley Ralph, who says she's known Jada for more than a decade, describing her as a young woman filled with potential.
Smart girl. You know, when you look at somebody and you say, wow, they're going to do something great in this world. Good heart, girl. And Jada got killed.
Now, a family, a school, and a nation grieve the loss of a bright light extinguished too soon. While police say one person is in custody, investigations are ongoing. Akeem Aret, CVM News.
In other news now, Jamaican medical students who journeyed to China to study medicine are now left in limbo after returning home, unable to secure jobs, internships, or observerships in the local health system. With a shortage of doctors plaguing hospitals, these students say they feel abandoned by the very ministry that should be welcoming them into service. CVM's Raymond Morrison has this exclusive report.
They left their homes and families, chasing a dream to serve their country. Years of grueling study in a foreign land, learning a new language, adapting to a new culture, all to return home as fully trained medical doctors. But now, they say their dream has turned into a nightmare.
Despite completing medical school and being ready to serve, I and many others like me still have not been placed in the public health system. We're left sitting at home and waiting while hospitals remain short-staffed and patients need care. It is emotionally and financially draining, and I worry about losing my clinical skills the longer this goes on. We are ready and willing to work. We just need the ministry to place us so we can do what we were trained to do.
Over 30 Jamaican medical students from this year's graduating cohort who studied medicine in China are now back home, but unable to get jobs. This while, according to the students' research, patients in public hospitals face long waits and overworked doctors struggling to meet demand.
The way in which the placement of interns was handled this year was nothing short of distasteful. Not only were we left guessing at every step of the journey, but the Chinese-trained doctors who were not placed were given no explanation and left to fend for ourselves. To be essentially abandoned by your own country when there are daily cries re shortages of hospital staff is an inexplicable feeling. Physicians are left to pick up the pieces of their lives with no hope in sight. If grants are being given to students for training in these foreign countries, why are there no accommodations made for them at the end of their studies?
The students say the government's inaction reflects poorly on the administration, especially given the perceived public health crisis.
I've never understood this whole argument with Chinese-trained doctors. China is good enough to do everything else in Jamaica. They're good enough to build buildings and they're good enough to build roads, etc., etc. Why are they not good enough to train doctors? They're good enough to donate equipment to the government and to help the country. So why is it that now, when you're supposed to hire the physicians that they have trained, mind you, we would have had to go to the Chinese embassy in Kingston, get these visas, go to China and pursue these studies. It is not a secret that we would have left Jamaica. We didn't go to China illegally. So why now it's being treated as if, oh, you didn't go to US, so you're just being cast away.
Many of these students chose China because of affordable tuition, high-quality training, and sponsorship programs, including some supported by the Jamaican government. Some scholarships even require recipients to return and work locally for 5 years, a promise these students say they're being denied the chance to fulfill.
This whole internship placement process has been a roller coaster of emotions and has been taking a significant mental toll on me. On my medical journey, I've done my best to get the grades and make the necessary preparations for a smooth transition into this field. I've done my final year senior clerkship here at the Black River Hospital, where we were treated as doctors per se. The doctors really took the time to teach us, as they understand the difficulties of us who have studied abroad and the stigma of incompetence that has been placed on us, quote-unquote, foreign doctors. I've gained important clinical knowledge and skills, done overnight and late-night duties. They even took the time to give us CAMC-like examinations just to ensure that we're efficient. Reasons have been given stating our schools are not accredited and having to do observership instead. However, on the Ministry of Health's website, it states that those who have done clerkship in Jamaica didn't have to do observership and have still been denied from doing observership.
CVM News made multiple attempts to contact the specific departments within the Ministry of Health responsible for placements, but all calls have gone unanswered. As hospitals struggle with doctor shortages and patients continue to suffer, these young doctors wait, their dreams on hold, their future uncertain. The question remains, how much longer will they remain in limbo? Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
CVM News at 7 continues in a moment.
Quench your craving with the value menu from KFC. Choose from a delicious chicken box, famous bowl, popcorn chicken, or crunch sandwich with combos starting at just $620. KFC, it's finger licking.
Don't miss the Courts Home Event Sale from September 15 to 20 with up to 30% off. Get a Restonic Comfort Care Pillow Top Queen mattress for $59,999, a 55-inch Samsung Smart TV for $75,999. Save up to $40,000 off fridges. Plus, shop today and pay us later on 6 to 48 months credit. The Courts Home Event Sale, September 15 to 20 with up to 30% off. Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight.
The time by KFC is
7:30.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Continuing the news, in response to the publication of unlawful interference in the South Coast Highway Improvement Project in St. Thomas, the project facilitator is slamming the media for what he believes to be falsified claims. Kevin Black reports.
Things that are in the media, I can say clearly it is false.
The government has been sounding the alarm over reports of unlawful interference in the South Coast Highway Improvement Project skip in St. Thomas, with concerns raised about individuals attempting to influence security and even take charge of construction works. Works Minister Robert Nestor Morgan recently expressed disdain towards the act, which he described as dangerous and unacceptable conduct. CVM News caught up with the project facilitator for the skip project, Adaja Cruikshank, who provided clarity on the matter, detailing the media's perspective provided a false narrative.
We went to the airport facility to meet with one Mr. Damian Moore, who then, after that meeting, instructed that we meet with the local level contractors at the Audley facility. We then entered the premises because the gate was wide open.
He added threats allegedly made against workers and staff from China Harbour Engineering Company Czech are also falsified claims.
We then met with the Chinese and we were pointed to an office location where we then had further meetings. After such, we left the site. No disturbances, no altercation.
Cruikshank urged the media to properly investigate the matter before publicizing the issue.
The media and the minister, or Mr. Morgan, before putting out these statements, do the relevant investigation, speak with the Golden Grove Police Station and speak to China Harbour. Because to this date, we have not seen a report from the police and we have not seen a report from Czech. So on what grounds are you speaking on?
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Police in Manchester have seized close to 24 firearms and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition since the start of the year. The latest seizures happened on Monday when police recovered 2 9mm pistols, several rounds of ammunition, and a large sum of cash in a connected operation. Carla Ramdeen has the details.
Acting on intelligence Monday, police seized 2 illegal firearms and several rounds of ammunition while recovering a large sum of cash in Greenville, Manchester. Superintendent Kerry Duncan is commanding officer for the parish.
The Manchester Police received information about a robbery that was committed along Mountain View Avenue in Kingston. A detailed description of the getaway vehicle was also obtained. About 11:30 a.m., a vehicle fitting the description of the vehicle that was reported in Kingston was spotted along the Greenville Main Road. The vehicle was intercepted. 1 man was found on board. The vehicle, as also the man, was thoroughly searched, and a large sum of money, including Jamaican and United States currency, was found on his person. The man was taken into custody pending further investigation in the alleged robbery.
In the meantime, police recovered 2 illegal firearms and several rounds of ammunition in separate operations on Monday. Around 12:30 p.m., officers signaled a Toyota Mark X to stop in Battersea Road, Manchester. The driver refused, but the vehicle was later intercepted. 2 men aboard were searched, and a 9mm pistol with 13 cartridges was seized. The men were taken into custody for breaches of the Firearms Act. Later that evening, about 8:30, police went to Battersea area, where 4 men were seen searching the spot where the vehicle had been stopped earlier. The men fled, and during the search of the area, a Taurus 9mm pistol loaded with 17 rounds was recovered.
The recovery of these firearms brings us to a total of 21 firearms recovered in the division since the start of 2025 and over 1,000 rounds of ammunition. These interceptions and seizures brings into focus our strategic and deliberate policing activities throughout the parish. So I want to take this opportunity to say to the persons with criminal intentions who traverse the space in Manchester that as long as you are out there, we also will be out there. So the chances of us crossing path is very high, and the chance of you winning is very slim.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Stay with us. There's more to come when we return.
Hey truck, how those Duracell Optimum batteries working out? Whoa, now that is serious power. Try Duracell Optimum, our next generation of power.
Another quality product from the Caramed Group Consumer Development.
Crunch your craving with the value menu from KFC. With combos starting at just $620. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Thanks so much for staying with us. We continue the local news. Montego Bay, as we know it, may look differently in the next 5 years, with expansion showing no signs of slowing. Major developmental plans are already in the pipeline for the second city and leading tourism hub. Our reporter Amoy Harriet sat with Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon.
Attention is turning to how Montego Bay is managing its dual identity as a top Caribbean destination and major economic hub, and a place that Jamaicans can afford to call home. While the city draws thousands of visitors each year, residents continue to contend with issues ranging from traffic congestion, environmental concerns along its popular beaches, and ongoing crime in certain neighborhoods. Richard Vernon is mayor of Montego Bay. He admits in the past traffic has been a nightmare, but insists the government now has the matter well in hand.
Moving forward, we will ensure that we continue to learn from our past experiences and add more to the space to facilitate the additional activities.
Additional activities that the authorities are hoping will help turn the tide on Montego Bay's somewhat challenged reputation. The second city currently boasts scores of hotel accommodations, to include resorts and boutique hotels. Soon, there will be more.
And some fancy ones are coming in. We have a hotel that we are awaiting the drawings to be approved, and we did a groundbreaking ceremony recently. That will be a 33-story building. It will be the tallest building in the Caribbean.
The developments don't stop there. The city is nearing the opening of the much-discussed Pinnacle housing development. Now, the project, which is being spearheaded by LCH Developments, will see the construction of 4 28-story apartment blocks in the Reading area with over 500 2- to 4-bedroom apartments. CVM News understands that the townhouses, which cost between $500,000 and up to $3 million, are almost entirely sold out, and a majority of the buyers are locals.
Persons are now coming in to view. They actually seen something happening. The first tower almost complete, but not the furnishing, but the actual structure. And they might have an opening in November or so. but it is moving apace.
Developments aside, Mayor Vernon says revitalization efforts are also taking place across the city.
The environmental projects that we're undertaking, plastic bottle collection, we're doing a study now. We're going to install cameras in the north and south gully to ensure that we monitor the downflow of the garbage to inform data that will inform the contingencies that we put in place to prevent it reaching to sea, because we have to protect our marine and our shores.
Amoy Harriet for CVM News.
Well, Jamaica has entered another chapter in its political history. Earlier today, Andrew Holness was officially sworn in as the nation's 9th Prime Minister. The swearing-in ceremony took place at King's House with government leaders, dignitaries and members of the public looking on. Our reporter Amoy Harriet was there and brings us some of those moments. Welcome back. Even as Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness charted the vision for what he termed the next chapter of Jamaica, a senior member of the administration says ensuring Portmore attains parish status is high on the agenda. Speaking on CVM's lead story, MP-elect for St. Catherine East Central, Orlando Terrelong, insists the dream is nearing reality. Kevin Black tells us more.
But as a government, we are solid on what the future of Portmore as a parish should look like.
On February 11th, 2025, Parliament voted for Portmore to become Jamaica's 15th parish. Speaking on CVM's lead story on Tuesday, Member of Parliament-elect for St. Catherine East Central, Orlando Terrelong, said the process is almost complete for Portmore to be a fully fledged parish.
To completely separate Portmore from St. Catherine Parish Council in Spanish Town, that is something that the people of Portmore really deserve. With Portmore becoming a parish, you're seeing greater autonomy, you're seeing improvements in property value, you're seeing greater improvements in citizen security, you're seeing Portmore becoming a tech hub, for our youth, more opportunities, more job employment.
Mr. Terrelong also shared what he believes Portmore should look like in terms of developmental strides in coming years.
At some point, if we are truly putting the people of Portmore first, then we must recognize that Portmore deserves parish status. When you look at the number of inhabitants of Portmore, it is larger than some 4 or 5 parishes in Jamaica already. And just the growth and development plan and strategy that we have in terms of making Portmore the sort of tech city, tech hub, it really underscores the need for Portmore to become a parish.
In the meantime, he also re-emphasized his visions for youth innovation in his constituency.
We see the establishment of a major tech hub, a major tech facility within Portmore. We see the development of the hospital in Portmore. We see further investment in Portmore. So, for example, I indicated I had the pleasure of opening 2 of the major BPOs that hires more than 1,200 persons in Portmore. This is the IBEX buildings right there near Silverstone, Fontana, Quartz, PriceMart, and others.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
But ahead of that, we promised you the Prime Minister's swearing in, and we'll have that for you later on. Stay with us.
Tears of finger-licking good memories, yeah.
The time by KFC is
7:30.
Everybody want to see a country right now.
One thing about Jamaicans, we might have differences, but we know when something is good for all of us. And when we work together against crime and violence, we are stronger than ever. And that's how we know the Citizen Security Plan can work.
That one that name CSP.
The Citizen Security Plan is an initiative of the Ministry of National Security in partnership with the European Union. It's an all-of-government effort to create safer streets and build stronger communities. Go to mns.gov.jm to learn how you can play your part.
Welcome back. It's now time for the Business Report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the Business Report today about a gravitational shift taking place in the MSME space as the engagement of the sector with workable capital solutions gained additional mass at the launch of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica and the Inter-American Development Bank Empower JA Building Bridges for Business Success Forum series, aimed at accelerating the economic and social development of Jamaican SMEs, whose influence on the Jamaican economy were described by PSOJ President Mitri Siaga.
We employ 90% of the private sector and over $80 billion in tax revenue to the government of Jamaica. This sector is important. Despite our significance, the financing gap that we face is estimated to be in the hundreds of billions of Jamaican dollars. In fact, it is arguable that more than half of the small and medium enterprises either cannot access the credit they need or are forced to settle for financing that doesn't truly fit their circumstances.
A dynamic that Natasha Marzolf, country representative IDB Group, says has been a consistent impediment to growth, citing a telling 2020 survey by Compete Caribbean that provides insights into perceptions and constraints that have been influencing MSMEs' finance-seeking behaviors.
23% of firms did not apply for financing because, one, they considered the interest rates unfavorable. Two, very, very important, 14%, 1/4, assumed that the applications would not be approved. You all know that if you are not even taking a shot at the game, you're not going to be in the game, right? And three, 4% cited complex application procedures. So these factors, just these three factors, are really what limits investments in innovation and skills.
However, the announcement of a funding mechanism by Managing Director of the Development Bank of Jamaica, Dr. David Lowe, may be the wow signal that a number of MSMEs have been waiting for, with the potential to shift that dynamic on its axis.
From the Development Bank's perspective, we also want to announce that we've just launched our newest financing product in the market this week, referred to as Orbit. It's a specific funding window that is different to anything we've done in recent times, and through our collaborative efforts with the stakeholder groups, the PSOJ, JMEA, Small Business Association, MSME Alliance, to name a few, we've been able to understand where there are specific challenges in productivity and scalability. And for that reason, we've decided to make something very specific that through our AFIs, your partner commercial banks, we're going to be able to launch a $2 billion Jamaican facility earmarked for manufacturing, scalability on 4 verticals. 1, agribusiness. 2, creatives. This is an underserved part of our economy with tremendous opportunity. So we've been listening. 3rd, manufacturing generally. And 4th, which was on your closing point, healthcare. We see a huge opportunity for health tourism.
Dr. Lowe explains that under the Orbit facility, eligible beneficiaries may access loans at 8% interest rates through DBJ-approved financial institutions. Importantly, the loans will carry a 10-year repayment period, double the duration typically offered by most financial institutions.
And here's the real winner, folks. We are offering collateral. Collateral through our CEF fund, our Credit Enhancement Fund, which allows up to 90% of the amount that you're approved to borrow to be secured by our facility to de-risk the opportunity for you to scale, produce, and export.
In addition to Jamaica Money Market Brokers, JMMB, National Commercial Bank, NCB, and First Global Bank, JN Bank is one of the handful of DBJ-approved financial institutions that are enabled to provide access to the Orbit loans, aligning with an ambition that Julian Hyde, Deputy Managing Director, JN Small Business Loans Division, has been actively innovating for some time.
Many of those entrepreneurs lacked financial footprint and collateral. But in our boldness, we developed and executed a framework that allowed those small borrowers to use even their appliances, their office equipment, their furniture and fixtures as security as we pressed ahead in partnership with the group.
Tailored capital solutions, however, were not the only options that were explored during the forum, as a fireside chat with a select panel of capital rebels explored alternative perspectives and approaches that continue to redefine how financing and business development is being done in the MSME space. David Mullings, founder, chairman, and CEO of Blue Maho Holdings Inc., a private investment firm that has ownership interests in a collection of diversified businesses mainly connected to the Caribbean, shared his insights into the mindsets required to ensure Jamaican entrepreneurs are best positioned for success.
You really want to learn from the successes and mistakes of others. You don't need to repeat the same mistake. So that's number 1. So which means you can identify whether it's a role model company, somebody has attempted what you're doing somewhere around the world. It might not be, go study them and understand what they did or what they didn't do. So that's number 1. Number 2 is to get, I wouldn't even go and say mentors, I want to go further, say you want to get teachers